So these are few upcoming movies that I'm really looking forward to. And before we start, एक चीज clear कर देता हूँ. This is not a list of every movie coming out this year. There are obviously a lot more movies releasing, but these are some hand-picked movies that are, for one reason or the another, I'm personally excited about. कुछ movies obviously huge blockbusters हैं, कुछ directors की वजह से interesting है, और कुछ ऐसे हैं जिनके बारे में आपने ज़्यादा सुना नहीं होगा. So let's get into it. Obviously number one has to be Avengers Doomsday. जब से ये मूवी कॉमिक कॉन में अनाउंस हुई थी तब से people have been hyping the hell out of this movie. और हो भी क्यों ना, Marvel has spent more than a decade building towards movies like this. It all started with Iron Man 1 back in 2008. And for a lot of us, Marvel wasn't just another Hollywood franchise. It was literally a part of our childhood. बचपन में, especially for a lot of Indian kids, Marvel के movies were some of the first Hollywood movies we actually followed. We grew up with Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk. ये characters हमारे साथ literally grow हुए हैं. So whenever Marvel announces another Avengers movie, especially involving one of these characters and Doctor Doom, there's an automatically a certain level of excitement. A movie actually उस expectation को meet करेगी या नहीं, that's a different question. But I'm definitely watching this on day one. Number 2, Ramayana. The surprising collab between Hans Zimmer and A.R. Rahman was truly an awe moment for me, because I've been religiously listening to these two legends for years and still do, and them coming together for a movie was something which I never saw coming. और वो भी रामायण जैसे epic tale के लिए, which needs that grandeur, that scale which Hans is known for. इसके लिए हम एक separate video ही कर सकते हैं, because there's a lot to talk about. Hans Zimmer has been one of my favorite composers for a very long time. एंड ए आर रहमान तो ऑब्वियसली नीड्स नो इंट्रोडक्शन. और इन दोनों का एक मूवी के लिए साथ आना was genuinely an oh shit moment for me. Next we have Dune Part 3, Denis Villeneuve's final chapter in the trilogy. And at this point I don't think I need to explain to anyone why Dune is exciting. YouTube पे already hundreds of videos बन चुके हैं इस मूवी के ऊपर. But there's a reason people keep talking about it. Because Dune is one of those rare movies where people call it an epic and actually feels like an epic. The world building isn't something that exists only on paper. जब आप Arrakis को स्क्रीन पर देखते हो, the scale of that world actually feels real. The architecture, the costume, the sound, the cinematography, everything works together. And now we are getting to the final part of Villeneuve's vision. Next is Insidious Out of the Further. Now, this might sound a little weird to you, but this horror franchise has actually become a comfort franchise for me over the years. जब मैं स्कूल में था तब मैंने Insidious का फर्स्ट पार्ट देखा था, and obviously तब तो हम बच्चे थे तो डर लगता था बहुत. But whenever I go back and watch these movies, I get this weird feeling of nostalgia. It's almost like going back to something you watched when you were younger. और Insidious के साथ मेरा वही connection बन गया है. So I'm genuinely curious about what they're going to do with this one. Then we have Hope. And this is one I think people should actually be paying attention to. Not because the trailer is something incredibly breathtaking visual spectacle, but because of the filmmaker behind it, Nan Hong Jin. If you don't know the name, he directed The Wailing, one of the most unsettling horror movies I've ever seen. And now he's making a monster survival movie. That's a pretty big deal for me, because when a filmmaker like him takes a genre like this, I'm expecting something more than just, a monster and people running and then that's it. Trailer में भी एक very strange and unsettling atmospheric feeling आ रहा है. अगर आपने इसका ट्रेलर अभी भी नहीं देखा तो please go watch it. Now let's talk about Godzilla Minus Zero. And if you watched Godzilla Minus 1, you already know why this is on my list. Because Takashi Yamazaki somehow managed to take a giant monster movie and make it an emotionally powerful human story. Minus 1 wasn't just about Godzilla destroying a city. It was about people trying to build their lives after the war. And that's what made that movie work so well. So now, after what Yamazaki did with Minus 1, expectations are obviously very high. And my biggest curiosity is very simple. Can he do it again? Can he give us another Godzilla movie where human story is just as important as the monster itself? Number 7, Werewolf. And the main reason I am excited about this one is very simple. Robert Eggers. That's it. If you have watched The Witch, The Lighthouse or The Northman, you already know what kind of filmmaker we're dealing with. The guy has a very specific style. His movies feel old, not just visually. Even the way people speak, the atmosphere, folklore, and the environments. Everything feels like you've been dropped into another time period. And now he's making a werewolf movie set in medieval England. Robert Eggers plus medieval England and plus werewolf. I don't know what this movie is going to look like. Next, The Social Reckoning. And this one immediately caught my attention because the person behind it, Aaron Sorkin. If you've seen The Social Network, you already know what Aaron Sorkin can do with dialogues. And that's actually one of the biggest reasons I'm interested in this one. Social Network had some of the sharpest, fastest, and most memorable dialogue I've ever heard in a movie. Aurab Sorkin is going back into that world. And this time we're dealing with the controversies and the consequences surrounding Facebook years after its creation. So, yeah, these are some of the movies I'm personally looking forward to. And again, this isn't a list of every single major movie releasing this year. There are obviously a lot more movies that could have included, but these are the ones that, for whatever reason, caught my attention. Which movies are you looking forward to the most? And most importantly, which movie did I completely miss? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.